Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Ooh, that didn't sound good. My headphones, that's why.
Hello.
Another one. So we're on Wednesdays, and I keep wanting to say happy Monday because for a year and a half we were on Mondays. But everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome, Mike Cardenas.
Yo, yo, yo. Thank you for having
So
me.
you are welcome. And I think I told you this one time before. I've been watching Midnight Paranormal Society's live investigation since I think before we did this show. So
Oh,
um,
yeah.
I just would watch you. I think Bobby Mackey's is the first one that I remember, like off the top of my head, that I watched or whatnot. But you want to tell everybody what you've been up to lately?
Yeah. So let's see. What have we been doing? We've had some few residential cases that came up. It's weird. Like, out of nowhere, we're getting like blown up by all these people wanting us to investigate their home, and which is really cool. But besides that, we just been doing our own show as well, the Whispers from the Unknown Network, talking about the same stuff, paranormal, UFO, cryptid, all that cool stuff. And what else have we been doing? What else have we
So
been
Whispers
doing?
from the Unknown Network.
Yeah,
There's it. Okay. I just
yeah.
wanted
That's
to be
our
like,
that's our little page we got where we do our podcast. That's from our own page, our own team, Midnight Paranormal Society, and we like to come on there and just talk about everything under the sun. All things paranormal related, and we talk about everything. I for a while there, I was talking about UFO stuff, talking about unsolved mysteries, and just murders and everything. Because one thing I realized is that you have an audience, and there's so many people that like so many different things, and trying to please every single person, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's an endless task. So we try to have a variety of topics and try to cover them.
hey Donna, Brian, hey Charles, how's it going? I was just sharing. Sharing is caring, by the way. That's my phrase. Sharing is caring. Yeah. So I know that y'all have gone a lot of different places. I haven't seen as many, like in the last couple of weeks, because probably because you've been sweating to death there in Texas and spending some of your time keeping hydrated from working out and losing weight or whatnot. But do you guys have like this year for 2022? Um, what are some of the showcase places that you would, or even one place that was pretty good that you've gone to so far?
There's a lot of few places we went to. Like recently, we went to the Magnolia Hotel in Seguin, Texas. Um, the only downside is you can't go live in that place because they'll charge you a filming fee, and because of the inflation, at one time it was like $500. Now it's 1,000. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna pay that. So it's just personal experiences. Um, but the one I'm looking forward to in September, I believe it's gonna be September 3rd. We're going to Mineral Wells, Texas, and we're going to be investigating the Haunted Hill House. And
Yeah.
that one's been featured on a lot of different TV shows like Portals to Hell, Jack Osborne, and some several other shows on Discovery Plus. But that place is supposed to be just jam packed with so much paranormal stuff going on there. People said they get scratched and all sorts of things, and I really want to go and experience that so badly. I'm really looking forward to that. And then in July, for my birthday weekend, July 24th is my birthday, but the 23rd, we will be in, was it Ballinger, Texas, at the Old Park Hotel, investigating there. That's another great place. Dan owns that place, and it's just a
I want to go
really,
there.
yeah, it's a really cool place. And if you haven't gone, you got to go check it out. It's really a cool place. And where else are we going? Just more residential stuff. But
Yeah.
honestly, out of the two, I love going to public places, but I also love residentials. I really I get joy out of just going and helping people. But one of the places we went to here in San Antonio that unfortunately it's getting closed down. It's called Ripley's Haunted Adventure, and that place, holy smokes, is really active. We were the last team to get in
So
there.
was it a museum?
Which one?
Ripley's Haunted Adventure. Was it a museum or something?
Well, there's a wax museum there that's in the same block, but it's like it's the wax museum. There's what is it? The Guinness Book of Record right next to it, and then
Mm,
it's Ripley's, and then it's called Tomb Raider 3D. It's like a little ride that you go into the basement and come back up. But we got to
okay.
investigate when we went there the Tomb Raider 3D, the Ripley's, and the Guinness Book of Record all in one night, which was really awesome. That place
That would be
is,
fun.
but unfortunately they're closing it down. But I'm just glad that we were the first team back in the day when we were the first team to investigate, and we were the last team. So
It's
that
in
was
San
pretty cool.
Antonio.
Yeah, right across the street
I
from the
think I've
Alamo.
seen it. Yeah, I was going to ask you if it was right by the Alamo because when I had to go to my A school there at
Right.
Lackland Air Force Base, I went down there and I was looking at those things and I thought about going in some of them. I think I went into one of them, but I didn't go in that one, and I thought about it.
Yeah, it's really
That's
nice.
cool. That
Hmm.
should be exciting, maybe. You have a question, Jason?
I just I was just looking at something. That little yellow thing made me think of a comic book strip, and I was like, oh,
Oh, the name tag?
yeah, it just reminds me. I don't know. That's what it looks like.
That's why I was like, should I change it? I'll just leave it. That's funny. So, how do you guys? I've never asked anybody this before, but I think about it all the time now, especially in the last few days. How do you guys investigate when it's so hot like this? Like, do you just bring an ice chest full of water, bottles of water, or do you bring
Oh
Gatorade? What do you
man,
guys do? It's
yeah.
hot.
One
It's
of the
hotter
things,
there, I think.
yeah, here in Texas, I don't know how it is anywhere else, but the Texas heat sometimes it's ridiculous, man. It's like you walk out and you come back like just burnt to a crisp sometimes. But when we go to an investigation, especially, I don't care if it's residential or it's public, like we're always bringing tons of water and snacks, but more so to stay hydrated because man, you would get dehydrated really quick in this heat. So we're always
Yeah.
making sure that we have all sorts of drinks with us because in this Texas heat, man, you'll walk out and you'll be drenched in a second. So, but I
Yeah.
welcome it though, somewhat for my weight loss. But
Yeah.
besides
I
that, I'm
mean,
like,
it will
hell no.
sweat you to death because when I was there in my A school, I had to wear like a duty belt and a helmet and a thigh holster and some
Right.
tube socks and some combat boots and stand outside, and it was July.
Oh man,
I sweated
it's
so hard.
horrible.
Woo, I had sweat lines in all my clothes. It was hot. It was hot.
Yeah,
There's
and,
no
and when
joke
we and
there.
when I investigate, I have my old vest that I stored. It used to be, it used to fit me really tight. Now it doesn't, but I put all my devices in all the pockets, and as I'm walking, it becomes heavier and heavier with sweat. And you're like,
Oh,
holy
yeah.
cow, you gotta bust it off.
That's probably a good thing to wear, though. I'm always like joking, and people have joked about giving me like a tool belt, some kind of tool belt to stick all of my little things in. Because I'm
Right.
like, here, hold this, and I'll cram whatever I can in all my pockets.
You need it, man, because with all these devices, man, it's like it's hard to keep up with everything. To have batteries and just
Hmm.
everything. It's ridiculous
And if you
sometimes.
sit down, you sit on them, or if you're sweating to death, you're sweating on those. Your
Right.
devices are getting sweaty. It's just like, yeah, it's not really fun to have sweaty devices. um,
So you are going to
so
the haunted hill house, you said?
Yeah, we're gonna go. I believe it's September 3rd, and I started looking at videos and other investigators, their experiences. I watched that Portals to Hell, and just every from all the different aspects, and it just seems like a really cool place. I When we went recently to Mineral Wells, we went to what was it called? Fort Walters. It's called Texas Scare Grounds or something. We went out there, and I told the team, I was like, hey, you know what? Since we're here, let's go by the Baker Hotel, which we did. And I go, let's go to the Haunted Hill House, which we did. And the Hill House, I was just looking at it. It's literally on a hill, and I'm looking at it, and I hear about all these stories of people being attacked. You know, there's like a demonic presence there, and apparently, and I don't know how true this is. I know it's a show on Discovery Plus, but this guy who was doing a report, investigating the Hill House, he was saying that apparently, um, when Zach Bagans, before he bought that house in Indiana, that demon house or whatever, apparently that house had a portal that was connected to the haunted Hill House. I don't know how true that is, but
hmm,
that's what this man claimed. I don't know, but I was
that's
like, either
funny.
way. Mhm.
Someone else earlier today was talking about the demon house that Zach Baggins was. That's funny.
Yeah. So I was like, man, I want to go and one thing about myself is when I go to a location, I never challenge whatever's there. I always let whatever's there know what my intentions are when I arrive. And you can't really control the situation, what's going on there, but you can control your actions. So I go in there, I'm like, hey man, I'm cool. I'm here to experience whatever's going on. And this place, apparently, there's been people who've had lasting effects where they go there, they leave, and things happen even after they leave. And I'm like, holy cow! So we'll see what happens when we go.
That might kind of be what happened with Jason because we went there and there was a girl that got scratched while we were there. We lost him. There was a girl that got scratched while we were there.
What's a hug?
Oh, you've been
Hang
there
on a
before?
second. Yeah, hang on a second. He wanted to tell me good night. So yeah, we lost Jason, but I think I want to say that when we had came back from there, I think it was there. We went there one time and they had an event going on there, Flumery. I think it was Flumery Productions, and there was Natalie
Oh yeah, yeah,
Jones
yeah, 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 yeah.
and Rochelle and Brian Murray were there, and there was a girl that got scratched there. It was pretty bad. I almost want to say she had a bite mark on her side, like teeth.
Right.
I think, yeah, she had teeth, and you could watch that there was no one around her when it happened. We could see because they showed the camera footage because they have cameras in there, and they showed the camera footage, and no one was around her. No little kids came up and bit her or anything like that. It just happened, and all of a sudden she was like, look, and she raised her shirt up, and there was a bite mark there on her.
Right.
Yeah. But I
Wow.
think when he came home, that might have been the time that he had woke up and he had like 3 marks scratched. There's scratch marks on him.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever met anybody who like try to fake being attacked by something?
Yep. And possession or attachment. Fake
I we had
attachment
a
or
we had a
possession.
client one time in a place called what was it, Comfort, Texas. I mean, it was out in the middle of nowhere, man. It was freezing cold, and the man who we had initially went to do the walkthrough with told me that his then girlfriend had left him because whatever, but that she was heavily into witchcraft and all this stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
I didn't meet her, right? Well, we went back for the investigation the night for the investigation, which was like a week or two later. I see this woman. She's like, "Who the hell are you?" And I'm like, "Who are you?" And she's like, "I'm the girlfriend of the whatever, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, I didn't meet you last time." And so she's like questioning us, and we had cameras all over the property, and there was one in the house in the kitchen. I guess she didn't notice it was there, and so she was in the house, and I remember her coming running out saying, "My back's on fire, my back's on fire," and I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, let me see," and she had all these scratches on her back, and I was like, "Holy cow!" And I'm like, "You know what? I had a camera facing in the kitchen to her room. I wonder if she's just BSing." So when I went home and I reviewed the footage, sure enough, you see her like she's standing there, and the whole time she's like this, like digging really hard, and like she's walking back and forth to her room, back and forth, and she's just digging her back like this, and then you see her just run out, like you see her jumping up and down with her shirt back, and I'm like, holy cow, she did it to herself. It was pretty wild.
With something similar like that happened. Me and a girl that I'm friends with, her name's Stephanie. We've done tarot card readings together and stuff. I actually had a dream or a vision of this happening before we went to the house, and I knew that the girlfriend did not want us to come. I don't know how I
Right.
knew, but I just knew she did not want us to come to this house. And I was going as a friend favor to a friend. As this girlfriend was supposed to be experiencing strange, like something taking over her,
Right.
right? And being tormented and having nightmares and like other things. And I had a feeling that she didn't want us to go there, and I told my friend that before we went because it was me and her going by ourselves, and we were going to do a deep cleansing
Right.
and like a spirit box session. And I was like, something doesn't want us there, or the girlfriend does not want us there. And then
Right.
right when we got there, like right before we pulled up, he was like, she doesn't want y'all here. And I was like, told you. She does not want us there. And then while we were there, I told him and her to stay in my view at all times. Stay in
Wow.
my view at all times. Do not leave my view. Because
Right.
I just had a feeling that I needed to say that. Well, she went to the bathroom and she came out, and all of a sudden she had scratches on her. And I found a screw in one of the rooms, and it looked like her scratches. It was a screw thrown across the room and the floor in like the corner of this room.
Oh man.
And I was like, boy, this is not, no, this is not okay. You don't do stuff like that to people.
That's horrible.
But I knew when she was in the bathroom, I told Stephanie, I said, what? She's going to come out with scratches. And guess what?
Wow.
She came out and she had scratches.
Interesting.
Yeah, so my laptop kept kicking me out.
Oh no, you're good.
Oh.
It
I don't
happened.
know what that was all about.
So what did you do after you reviewed the footage?
I after I reviewed everything, I reached out to the guy and because even though she did that, what was really odd was before she did that, this guy was like a deep into the country kind of guy, man. Like this guy was like, I mean, country accent, really hardcore, but he had made the biggest bonfire I'd ever seen. I was like, holy cow. And it looked like the whole like hillside was on fire, but it was just a big old bonfire. And we were standing by there, and it was so hot that even though it was really cold, we kept having to turn like a rotisserie chicken. Like we kept having to turn because it was burning us really badly. But this woman had her back, I mean, super close to the fire, and she wouldn't flinch. And the rest of us were like, I mean, we kept having to turn because it was so hot. And then what was so crazy was my cleanser Kayla, she had put this infusion of holy water with some sage and some other oils and stuff. And she was before we started, we put a cross on everybody. And when she went to the woman and she put the cross, the woman started complaining that her head was burning really badly. And so at first I thought, okay, man, something's wrong. Maybe it's whatever's going on it's because of this woman. And she was like, it burns and it burns me, and the rest of us were fine. Like I mean, and all I kept thinking was maybe it's an allergy thing, maybe she's allergic to
Yeah.
something, or maybe you know whatever's in her, man, is reacting to the thing. And but then when I started doing the whole scratching her own back, I just this lady is full of it, man. So what I did was when I contacted the man, I said, I said we didn't find any evidence, but the one thing I did find, I'm just gonna let you know, is your girlfriend or ex-girlfriend. I recorded her scratching her own back, and he was like, "What?" I go, "I have the proof, man. Here it is." And I said, "It's up to you to believe or not believe. It's your business. It's your choice." But I left it at that, and we never contacted the man again. But it was unfortunate to see that happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because not only is the person possibly causing like mental, spiritual, physical problems in the home that's doing that if they are faking it, then they're causing a whole entire team to waste man hours and time and effort and batteries and gas money to come there to investigate, which is still an experience to learn anyways. But in a way, it's kind of selfish if you're doing that just for whatever reason and it's not real. It's
Right.
kind of selfish, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And I would probably say it could fall under the umbrella of mental health, like mental health issues that somebody might have. Would think maybe she really thought that was happening to her.
Maybe,
You know?
who knows?
Yeah, you
But
never know.
I was done with that really quick. I was like, bye.
You're like, this is out of my comfort level now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But
do y'all just go to places in Texas?
Do we only go investigate in Texas? Or for
Yeah.
now, I mean, that's all we've done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go, of course, out of state to do other stuff, but it's like, it's all about making sure that you have enough notice to get hotels and are going to get flights or, if you're going to drive over there. Especially with this inflation now, I'm like, hell no, that gas is too expensive.
Yeah.
But I would love to, though.
I understand that, but yeah, I mean Texas is huge, so I mean there's a lot of places to go.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I was just curious if you went out of state.
Well, when I was going to Ohio, what was it, 2016? I stopped by Waverly Hills, and I was like so excited. I was like, "Oh my god!" And I remember I went to Waverly's, I know there's some entrance by the apartment complex or something, and there's one by the golf course. And when I went to the side by the apartment complex, I called the number that was listed or whatever, and they're like, "No, we're closed. You know, we don't do. You can't just show up and be like, hey, can I take pictures?" Right? I was like, "Well, is there another entrance that 'cause I guess the one by the apartments it's all wooded, so you can't see nothing at all." I was like, "Is there like another area I can go to so I can kind of see it better?" And the lady goes, "If you go around to where the golf course is at, there's like a road that splits, and one side goes to the golf course, and one side goes to the where the security guards at in the fence or whatever. You can go there. Maybe you'll see it." So I went around and I found it, and of course there's like cameras everywhere. And I was trying to see the building, and all I saw was just a small tip of the roof where because all the trees were grown and you couldn't see nothing. I was like, "Damn, man."
Yeah,
Which place was that?
Waverly Hills,
Waverly.
Yeah, that's so. Because the way you were describing it in my mind, I was seeing everything you were talking about, like when we were there,
right?
like the
I was like,
fence and the
"Man,
trees and the building and and security.
yeah."
Yeah,
Yeah.
we came in on the golf course side when we went
Mhm.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, I would, and then I didn't realize. I mean, I don't know how far Bob Mackey's is from there, but I wanted to go there to go check it out, but we had to go, so I was like, "Ah, never mind, next time."
Maybe y'all didn't go there. Have y'all not been there? There was somewhere that
Mm-mm.
I thought was there, Bobby Mackey's, when y'all
No, I
investigated
wish,
one
man. That
time
would
on
be
a live.
nice.
Maybe it was like a tavern or a bar.
Maybe. I mean, we had so many places.
It would have been a while ago, like over a year, maybe 2 years ago.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a while ago. Yeah.
And
yeah,
then also, oh, go
we
ahead.
looked it up. Oh, I was just gonna say, I remember looking up when we were at Waverly how far Bobby Mackey's was. It was only like an hour away or something like that. But we were too busy with Waverly to make it up there.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's not far.
Remember, it was
Yeah.
a really big group of people, so we like really kind of wanted to like socialize.
So let me ask you,
Yeah.
when you went to Waverly's, right? 'Cause you've been there, right, to investigate. How was the contamination as far as like I know there's so many like levels, but were you able to go to like one side versus the other and not hear anybody, or did the sound travel really, really badly?
It wasn't that bad.
Hmm.
No.
If you were in the lobby where everyone had all of their video equipment and all of their paranormal equipment stationed, it was loud most of the time because there was people hanging out in there. But like when you went up, we kind of would just like keep an eye on each other. And if someone was going to go down there or up, we would go down here or like stay away. And so,
Right.
and we like actually investigated like a specific room part of the
Right.
time we were there, and then the body shoot. So it wasn't
Oh
too bad,
man.
except in the lobby where everybody had their food and their drinks and their equipment and
Right.
stuff. That was pretty bad in there.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that place is so huge. It's really kind of hard to interact with anybody else doing an investigation, even on the same floor. But
Okay.
yeah, it's massive. Man. It really is. Like you see it on TV, but once you're actually there and see how massive the building is it's crazy. And then I think anytime when we were doing investigations, we didn't have any problems with anybody else. I don't think.
Nice.
No, we didn't have any contamination either. The only
Yeah.
time we had noise is this show that we did on Mondays. We were there on a Monday, I guess, because we used our hour for our time slot that would go on
Right.
live on our show to do a spirit box session in one of the rooms of Audrey and Lois, the two of the patients that were sisters that were there in a room together. We did an investigation, and there's even a bed in there. And we sat and did a spirit box session in that room, and then got some pretty good, clear communications in that room. Just for FYI, if you go there, Audrey and Lois's room, we got some interaction in there. And we did our hour or hour and a half show there, and then on the balcony, we went out on the balcony because there's like a bay, a sick bay,
Right.
where they would put all of the people out in their
Mhm.
beds to get day sunlight. And
Right.
we went and hung it on the sick bay because you could see bats in the moonlight, and it was like a full moon. So we didn't get a lot of noise contamination, honestly.
No.
Wow. That's nice. And a lot of public places you go to, sometimes, you get the cars driving by and, you hear, people, just with the radios full blast and or people talking down below and you're like, damn, man, why can't you just be silence?
Yeah,
Yeah,
after the
I
tour,
think.
it wasn't bad because they gave us a tour first, and then they kind of went away.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it was mainly just because everybody was doing the same thing. They're doing their investigations, and they don't want to be interrupted, and same with everybody else. And then it was a private event for us there. So I mean,
Right.
there wasn't anybody else from the public there or anything like that. So um, it was a pretty cool experience. And like I said, man, it's a really massive place. So it's really hard to uh, get contaminated with somebody else. But um,
Right.
it's pretty cool, man. And like seeing it in person it's something else, really. Um,
That's
seeing it
that's
on
pretty cool.
TV is one thing, but being there in person, seeing how massive it really
Right.
is
Man,
something.
I would love that so much, man, to go
Watch out
experience
for the
that.
bats, though, because I think that Chrissy had one to smack her in the forehead or
Oh,
something.
hell no.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
bats, so I was like, let's catch them and take them home. But she was
Let's
like,
Hell
no,
no.
you're crazy.
Yeah.
No, 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 no,
No.
no, 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 Batman, you know.
Yeah.
But one of the things I'm really excited for, not having to do with the paranormal, we do I do these events. Me and one of my one of our lead investigators, Deb, we do events together here in San Antonio, at this location, and we do like a vending there, like we're vendors, and we have this our spot that our go-to spot that we have, and I sell Funko Pops, and she sells like makeups and just different things, right? And it's cool because this event, different celebrities will come out. One of them that came out that I got the autograph was one of the guys who played Michael Myers. That was so freaking cool, man, from the
Yeah.
original 1978 movie. But the one that's coming this weekend, to me, Saturday and Sunday, is the guy who voiced the Crypt Keeper. He's gonna be there signing autographs.
What?
Yeah, and I was
What?
like, oh my god! And then the one I'm really, really looking forward to is in August. It's going to be a 35th anniversary for the Lost Boys. So 3 actors from the Lost Boys are going to be there. It's going to be
Oh my
the
God.
guy, the brother who played Michael, who became a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be there, and the Frog Brothers. They're going to be
Corey, the
Corey Feldman is going to
Coreys,
be
Mm.
there.
the Coreys are gonna be there.
It's Corey and,
What?
and his sidekick. They're going to be there. And I'm like, holy cow! And I have here somewhere the 2 pack of the Frog Bros. So I'm gonna get
Are
autographed,
you
and
for real?
yeah,
You
and
have so many Funko Pops. I'm jealous.
yeah, I'm just like, and like, I know you can barely see it, but right here, I'm trying to. I have so many Funko Pops, like right here behind the camera, to the sides. Like, I have so many.
You're like
ins-
those guys that have their own little table there. They have a booth and they're selling Funko Pops.
Yeah, I'm like the Funko guy, and Deb's like the makeup, and she has like what is it called, like the stones and for protection and stuff and all that cool stuff,
Yeah,
makeup and
metaphysical stuff. Yeah.
yeah, and we go, we split the fee and we sell stuff, and it's like we love these events. It's just so cool, the
Yeah.
people you meet, and and people recognize, like I was there, and some guy like came up to me one time. He's like, "Hey man, you're with MPS, right?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You're with Midnight Paranormal Society. I'm one of your followers, man. I'm one of the Midnight Watchers. I've been following you for so many years." And I'm like, "Holy cow!" So it's always cool to see people recognize you and run into you. It's really
I
cool.
saw somebody today. I had to take my son to therapy, and I saw Dark Knight Paranormal Society. Jason, for real.
That's really cool.
They were
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I was like, what?
Oh, I
That
think
doesn't
only
easy work.
one time I got a little weirded out. This was I think 2019, or I think it was right before COVID, right? I was at this vinyl shop, I used to buy vinyl to make our own shirts and stuff, and I'm buying the material that I needed. And I'm at the store, and I'm standing there in line, and some woman is standing there. She keeps like looking at me, and like not this like let me like be low key, but I mean, she's like full blown, just looking at me with like a smile on her face. And I'm like, holy cow! Like, do I know her from somewhere? Like, and I'm like freaking out, man. And I have like all
You're-
these bundles of vinyl in my arms, and I'm like looking at her like this and giving her the side eye, and she's just like, and I'm like, oh my god, where do I know her from? And she keeps getting like inching closer and closer and closer and closer. And I'm like trying to like move to get to the line to put her down, and she's like, "Can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I started like my heart dropped, and I'm like, "Yes." Like, what's up? And she was like, "Aren't you Mike?" And I was like, "I go, who wants to know?" She was like, "What? Don't aren't you with MPS?" And I was like, oh, "Okay." Whew." I was like, "Yeah, I am."
You're
Like,
like, are you a tax collector? Are you?
she was like, "Didn't you investigate a place called Monster Burger on?" And it was on YouTube. I'm like, "Yeah, I did." And she's like, "Oh my god!" And she just started hugging me. And I'm like, "Oh!" Like it was pretty crazy.
That's funny because, like, to us, we're just people, and we have people that we think are like celebrities. But when
Right.
you run into those people, they think you're like a celebrity. I've been in the
Mhm.
grocery store and taken some trash out one time somewhere, and I was like, people were like, "Oh my gosh, you're from Nocturne Collective. You did a tarot card reading for me," and I'm like, "Did I? I don't even remember. I'm sorry."
Yeah, it's really
It's
cool.
so
It's
funny. Yeah, that's cool though. It
I
makes you
don't.
feel like really special.
Yeah, it happens. Now, as far as your little Funko Pops, I've only got two. I've got a Halloween signed by Michael Myers from it's Nick Castle, signed by Nick Castle,
I would
and
have
then
loved to have Nick Castle. I had the other guy, the unmasked Michael Myers. What's his name? Tony Moran.
yeah, Tony, yeah, um, and then I got the little Ouija Funko Pop, the Ouija board Funko
Oh, I
Pop.
have a bunch of those right here behind
Do
the
you really
camera.
selling them?
Yeah, and actually, look,
I've
let me
got
show
one.
you. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I got that one, and I got her one, so we both got one.
Yeah, I probably have about 20 Funko Pops, but none of them are
See, I have.
signed. None. I don't
I'm gonna
care
show
if
you
they're
this
signed. I don't
one.
keep them because they're signed. I just collect them because there's creepy ones like La Llorona and
I
Creep Show. I got the creeper from Creep Show.
let me show you
Sam and
guys.
Dean Winchester.
Oh my god, those are vaulted now, or some of them are vaulted, meaning like
Are they
they're
really?
no longer in production. So when you get them, man, hold on to them.
Yeah. I have some just really weird, like horror type ones or
See, look, I
whatever.
have this one right here. Where Tony Moran signed this one, my
Oh, well, it's a red
buddy
one.
Michael
Oh,
Myers, and then I
That's
have
cool.
this one right here. I really like. It's the glow in the dark, Gage in Church from Pet Cemetery, and the guy who played what Miko Hughes or whatever. He
yeah.
he
Nice.
signed
I've never seen that one.
my glow in the dark. Yeah, this one came
Uh,
out not too long ago. It glows in the
Oh,
dark. It's really cool.
I've never seen. You know, I want an Elvira one.
Oh, I have the wire. Where's yeah, she's up
If
there.
anyone here sees an Elvira somewhere and they want to give it to me or send it to me, I will pay you back. I will pay you back.
And
But
look, I have this one right here,
just saying, I will buy it from you.
the
What is that?
Mothman.
oh yeah,
Mothman?
This
man.
one came from Australia. You see that
That's
pop culture is
crazy.
from
Yeah.
Australia.
Is
And
it?
then look at this one right here.
I've never seen that one either.
Look, watch.
Oh,
This is one of my other favorites. Is Vampire David from Lost Boys.
Oh my gosh,
uh,
that's so cool.
Oh
That's
man, I
awesome.
love
that was
these.
cool.
It's I have so many, man, and I also have. Let me show you this last one. I have a few over here, but
Do you have any of the other
where's
Lost Boy ones to get signed?
oh, I have regular David where he's eating the. Let me show you. I have the
Look at him,
Vampire
he got a
David, which you
blanket
just
hiding
saw,
him.
and then I have David where he's eating the noodles. Remember that scene where he's eating the? And
Yeah,
he's like, how's the
maggot
maggots?"
noodle. It's the maggot rice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm hiding my Funko Pops from this green screen, but
No.
I
I've
have
seen
like
them
some.
before though.
Oh shit! No fall. Sorry, excuse my language. I
Yeah.
have and look, I have this big old giant burnt one. The
Oh,
mini puff, the burnt one, Stay Puff.
Stay Puffed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I have Frankenstein. Like I have Dumb and Dumber. I have more
I
way
just
back
want all
there.
of the scary monster ones in the horror movies. I
And
don't
I
care
do.
about
I
the rest
actually
of
right
them.
here. I have behind the screen. I have the Nun. I have Regan from The Exorcist. I have both Annabelles. I have
Oh,
just
Jason.
everything you could think of, man. It's like I have Jason. I have from Dracula. I have Beetlejuice, Elvira. I have everything, man. It's like
Beetlejuice and Elvira.
the original Ghostbusters. I have
I have the
Fast.
girl
Fast.
Ghostbusters, the female Ghostbusters.
Oh, I saw those, but I didn't get them. I have Fast. Have you seen them? Have you seen the
I'm
movie?
flipping you off right now. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm like, no, no, I'm just kidding. I have Godzilla. Like, I have everything you could think of. I have like the Bride of Chucky. I have Jack from The Shining, from American Psycho, or Patrick Bates from Psycho. I
But
have
do
so
you
much,
have
man.
this? Do you have Funko
Uh,
Pop Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G.?
hey, you know what? You know what though? That big, I don't have that one, but that one right there. If you, the way it kind of works, right? Because they have variants, right? Of Funko Pops. Like they have what's a common, and they have what's like. Okay, let me show you
I
this
think
right
this one
here.
was like a limited one.
So this one right here, you see this is called you see this is called a chase right here. And the
Yeah.
reason for it is the common is this one right here, the blue one. And if
Yeah.
you have to buy so many of this same one to hope to get the chase version, which this one glows in the dark. And so with
Yeah.
that Biggie Smalls right there, there's a variant of it where he's completely gold. So you would have to
I've
buy,
seen it, I think.
yeah, you have to buy
Not
so
in
many of
when I
him
bought him or when we
online,
got him, but
and when you get it, you hope you're gonna get that gold one, and it's worth a lot of
yeah.
money.
Yeah. Well, this is a good weapon here. I'm just saying it's
Oh
really
man, you'll
heavy and
beat
really
somebody with
hard.
that thing,
Like somebody in a dark alley, you just like you beat him
man.
with Biggie
You will whoop
Smalls.
them. But I
Yeah.
have I even have like chupacabra. I have
Oh
the
wow.
jackalope. I have like all these different just everything you can think of. I have it, and
There is
people
Why?
paranormal in Funko Pop, everybody. Just so you'll know, there's a lot of paranormal in Funko Pop.
and the Ouija, of course. Ooh,
Yeah, the Ouija's pretty cool. I like that.
yeah.
Uh, why do you have a Biggie Smalls Funko Pop? I didn't know you had that.
It was a Dirty Santa gift.
Oh, okay.
I picked a
Nice.
Dirty
Okay.
Santa gift, and somebody wanted what I had because they
Hmm.
thought it was
Yeah.
cooler, and they were like, "Hey, will you trade me this?" And I was like, sure, yes, whatever, why not?" So
I even
I
have
have
this guy
one.
right
Okay.
here,
Huh?
the Bigfoot,
Oh my gosh,
the
that is
Right.
so
rainbow
cool!
one.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Rainbow Bigfoot. We need that.
And a lot of people come to me, man. They're like, "Hey, man," because you know what I do is I buy them and I'll post them and have my core buyers for me. They buy from me, and like people tell me, "Man, you have this, you have that." And if I don't have it, man, I go find it pretty fast. Like this one guy, I have a customer who he wanted he's like, "I have this 10-inch Superman," and I go, "Oh, can I see it?" He goes, "But there's one that has like red eyes," and so I saw the one he had, and it was a common version. There's a chase version, right? And then where he has like red eyes,
Hmm.
and you have to buy so many of the big ones, 10-inch, just to hopefully get that chase.
Yeah.
And I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna buy like 10 of them, and just to hopefully get it. I'm gonna be stuck with 10." So I called friend of a friend of a friend, a connection this here. Then I finally got it same day. He just told me about it. I went out. I finally like 2 hours later I found it, and he was like the happiest. Like, "Oh my god, Mike! I can't believe you found it." And so I have my core people who always come to me when I
That's
find what
really
they
cool.
want.
That's really cool. We may end up having to split a booth on one of the events that we're going to go to. It's a paranormal convention. It's like a metaphysical paranormal convention.
Right.
Yeah.
We know.
It's. I've seen the big Funko Pops before. Like I've seen a really big He-Man one,
I have
and
a
then
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
big
yeah,
ones
yeah.
too.
uh,
It's not Funko Pop.
Yeah, but it's still cool.
It's
I have all of those guys, man. Like I have what
yeah, the
shit.
little Stay Puft Marshmallow buddies from the new movie.
Like I have this one right
And
here. Like I have
then we're
this
like, this
one,
is toys. Who forget Midnight
the
Paranormal? We're
mini
gonna
puff
watch
where he's on fire.
it. Yeah, oh my gosh, that's so cute. I
I
want
have
that.
that one. I have where's the other one at? Oh, right here. I got where he's at Baskin Robbins. He's eating ice cream.
Oh, we've seen. I saw that one at a convention or some kind of event we went to not long ago. I saw that one, but I didn't see the one on fire.
I even have which one is it? I think it's this one, but the glow in the dark one, and I have it in the box where it's sealed with the T-shirt. So you can have the shirt that glows in the dark plus the pop that glows.
Yeah, that's cool. I like it when they do that. I love it when they do that. I buy quite a few of those as presents and stuff for like Christmas and birthdays.
I was thinking this burnt puff guy. Let me show you.
I was looking for something I had that I thought was near
I was
box.
thinking, man, because here's this big old 10-inch the burnt puff.
Oh my gosh!
I was
love
like,
that.
man, instead of selling this one, I was like, I want to keep it and like see if someone could turn it into like a rim pot or something for me.
Oh my gosh, that's a cool
Oh, yeah.
idea.
So freaking
Yeah,
badass.
because their
That was
head
so cool.
comes off. I mean, like you can unscrew it and screw it back on. I don't know how easy it is to get it back on because
Oh,
usually when my son does that, they don't go back on the same way they came back off. But
Right.
I think that you
Oh,
could.
snap.
Someone could do that.
this thing keeps freaking calling. Come on. Poor thing, man.
We should take the banner stand that I have, Jason, and do that and put like a sheet on it and like do a green screen live.
I bought this thing, man, from Amazon
Yeah.
one time, and I never use it. So now I just use it to try to cover the background.
I don't know. I have one that's like 3 times that big. It's like huge.
Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
all I do is bump into it and just drop it all the time.
We used
So,
that at the Fear Fest. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, just like a ballpark. If you think, like, how much do you think you got in those little pops?
Oh my god, man! I probably have shit. Probably. Oh man, I can't even tell you. Let me see.
He's like, I lost
10.
track.
I probably have more than. I can't even tell you a number, man. Because just right here, what I have in this room, plus in this back wall, not including what I have in my living room, it's like I have a lot, man. I couldn't even give you a number. It's just I have a lot of them. It's like I have, and then what I do is, like I said, when I go to these events, Friday, I gotta go and get all my pops price for the event on the weekend. And then I go to the event, I dump them all there. People buy the majority of them. Then I go and I gotta go buy more to sell. But I go through them like crazy, man. It's like and you know what's so crazy? One time, I'll share a quick story with you guys. I don't know how you guys are into anime or not, or even know about anime.
I know
but
what it is. I don't know
yeah,
about it. I
I'm not
haven't seen it in
really.
a while, but
I'm not that big into anime,
manga,
but
anime.
there's this pop right here. I'm gonna show you real quick. Where is it at? It's behind here somewhere.
Does it look like I have
I don't know
ears
where it's
on
at,
my
but
head?
it's called what is it called? I forget the name of it.
It's a show though, like a
It's
specific
a show,
character?
right? And like I
Vampire
mentioned,
Hunter D.
no, it's called My Hero Academia, or it's called something. I don't know what the show
Yeah,
is
My Hero
called.
Academia.
And
Or something like
the character or the pop that it was coming out at the time, it was just dropping, and our local mall, because if you have a Hot Topic near you, that
Yep.
there's Hot Topic and there's
I
like
used to
Box
work there.
Convention, there's like Books a Million, there's all these different stores that you can find them at.
Mhm.
And at the Hot Topic, there's always limited releases, and
Yeah.
before I used to go, like they say, hey, it's like say right now I got the notification tomorrow in the morning at this time we're gonna open. And they'll give you a list of what they're gonna have available. And if you see one that has a chase variant, you want to get there and wait in line the whole night. So I'll be there like at 10 o'clock p.m. tonight and wait till it open at 11 the next day, and I'll be there. I mean, tired, man, waiting. And so it's called Twice. That's the name of the pop, Twice. And he has like a mask on his face, and if you get the chase variant, part of it's ripped off.
Yeah.
And so everybody wanted it. And when I saw on the ad, it said they only have 3 in stock, and that means out of that 3, maybe they may be 3 commons, or 1 may be a chase, 2, 3. And so I show up and I'm first in line. I'm like, thank you, Lord. Like I'm first in line and I'm waiting, man. I'm tired. And then it's cold. We're freezing, and I'm wearing. Why am I wearing shorts in the freezing cold? I'm wearing shorts.
To keep you awake and alert.
And I had this big old jacket, and I'm like standing there, and I'm like shaking all hard, and then the line starts getting bigger and bigger. And when finally the mall is about to open, I look at everybody. I'm like, okay, look. And this is when I was more heavier. I was like, let me know now. Do I have to run when the door opens, or is everyone be respectful of each other's, where you're at in line, and just walk single file line? Everyone's like, nah, we were all here, whatever position you're on in line, that's where you're at. And so Hot Topic's on the second floor. So we had to go to the stairs, go to the second and single file line. Well, some guy was like, F your rolls, and he just ran. and everybody just walked respectfully. They didn't try to cut or nothing. We get to the top, and one thing leads to the next. We get there. I'm like, look, man, I'm not gonna fight with you, man. Just we were all freezing together. I was here first. I was like, don't make a scene, man. He was like, you can't move me. I said, I don't have to. I just stand in front of you. So I got in front of him. I said, I was already here first, and everyone was saying like, get to the back of the line. And some other people came from a different entrance, not knowing what was going on, but because they were late, they got involved in trying to argue with me. Well, three guys rushed me, wanting to fight me, and I was like, "Oh man, here we go, man! Like I'm not gonna fight you over no toy, man. Like there's no way." And the guy and they rushed me, and I said, "Look, man, before you attack, I said if you hit me, I'll let you hit me one time. I said, but I'm about to defend myself. I said I have a knife and I have pepper spray. You pick what you want me to use on you." And one guy was like, "Oh," he was like, "I don't want no trouble." And but it was like over a freaking, a pop.
Yeah.
Like I mean, why you can go to jail for something like that? And
Well,
so
you had been there all night, so you by rights had you were
right.
first in line, and you had been there all night. So the store should have been responsible for engaging those people and making sure that you had the right to come in the
Well,
store
when the
first.
worker got there, he came and he saw everyone was they're arguing me. He says, "Listen, I see him first in line. That's it. No, I'm not going to argue with you guys. I don't get paid enough for this." And so he goes into the store and he comes back out and they bring like a paper like to write down like if you're gonna make an order. He's like, what do you want? I said, well, what chases do you have or what? And he goes out of the one I just mentioned. He goes, we only have one of the chase. Man, the whole crowd went wild. Those three guys were like, you beep 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 beep, beep. And I was like, I'll take that chase. So I got that and some other stuff, and I walked out and I took it out of the bag and I was like, hey, listen, if you take a picture, it'll last a little bit longer. They got mad.
Ah,
And I went down the stairs and I left, but they were like, it was like after that happened, I never went back for any more drops. I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time and
yeah,
get hurt over some dumb stuff like that.
because it even could have got worse than that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could get worse than that. It could get violent. You never know. People these days sometimes and times be hard, man. Gas money be expensive.
I'm gonna show something to you. So this thing right here, I don't know if you guys have ever used them, but when I go into investigations, I love to use this right here.
Yeah,
It's called Vapor Dual.
yeah.
You can see it,
Does it
and
help with getting stopped up and stuff when you're in dusty
it just
places?
helps you breathe a little better, especially when it's really hot. But this part is you can like sniff it with your nose, like kind of like a menthol, and this back part right here, it has essential oils like eucalyptus, and that way you can like
Really?
rub it. Yeah. So what you can do is you go like this,
I'll write that
and
down.
you can sniff this part, or you can put it away like this, and then you can do this part, and it has essential oils. You can just dab on your finger and just rub it wherever your chest. I love
I want
these.
to check that out because my
Oh, I got
daughter
them at
would
Walmart.
be so thankful for that. Hey Tim, we're talking about
That's
all
what.
kinds of Funko Pops and getting in fights at the mall. Hey Joshua,
So guys,
So let
might as
me
well
ask you
tell
both.
them.
I'm going to ask you both a question.
Mhm.
So, what do you think has been your most memorable paranormal experience you've ever had? Ever. Whether it was public or residential or just you're by yourself, what was the most memorable that you
Some
think
of
you've
them
had?
weren't even in places we were like located purposely to investigate. Crap has happened in other places that sticks out in my mind to talk about, like weird stuff. Just hotels when you're going and you're staying at a hotel and weird, creepy, crazy stuff that happens there. Um, but it makes me think of like one of the places that I think of is the Broken Bow Asylum.
Oh, Ashley.
Yeah. What about you, Jason?
yeah, the same thing. Unexpected things like you were talking about, places we've gone that we've just kind of accidentally found ourselves in. And then you got Broken Bow like you were talking about, and then Waverly Hills.
Haunted
This
Hill House.
Haunted Hill House, of course. Yeah. I broke. I don't know what was going on my laptop earlier, but it kicked me out when we were talking about that, so I didn't really get. I don't know what was going on with
Get
that
ready for Haunted
conversation.
Hill House. He said, I can't wait for Broken Bow. Yeah, we're supposed to go meet up with them when they go there and maybe like eat lunch or something with them or just hang out.
Yeah,
See.
when we were at Broken Bow, I had a big piece of glass thrown at me, hit me in the shoulder, and that was interesting.
Wow.
Um, we did a did a sanitarium that wasn't too far from where we live, and then we had a different team member and with us at the time, and there was a spirit that attacked his leg, and then gripped his leg and stuff. And that was interesting.
And it was like,
Um,
like a girl, and ran down the hallway.
yeah, but at Waverly, I saw the creeper, what they call the creeper at Waverly, and then it was kind of, I only got to see him for a couple of seconds, but it was a big, tall shadow figure that was in the doorway. So that was kind of cool. And then the haunted Hill House there is they say there's some people that say there's demonic presence there, but we had some interesting things happen there, and then somebody got bit, so that was.
And even when we weren't in the rooms on camera, there was stuff that was moving by itself, and there was no one in the room.
Yeah, we actually saw video of that. Yeah.
I think for me, one of the most, I guess, extreme or crazy experience I've had was, this is when I first started MPS, or even before I started MPS. It was like 2008, or it was like right before I started. My mom, she had moved into this duplex, and she had told me for so long, like, for several months, like, man, this place I moved into is really haunted. And I believe my mom, because, we went through a lot of stuff when I was growing up, paranormal wise. And so I never questioned her, but I was like, I'm just too busy. I can't go. I was working a lot. And finally I took some time off to go, see what she was, experiencing. I try to experience it. And let me tell you something, guys, man, this house, I pass by it every now and then, even now. And I see there's new people living there, of course. But this place, man, this is one place that just really made me question. And of course, this is in the beginning. Should I be really doing this? And so what happened was, I went to her house, I drove up, and there was two people with me. And if you ever seen a duplex before, there's more than one door in the front of the house, right?
Yeah.
And I walked into the doors, and I see one that had like this lock, like a cover on the handles. I knew that was not the one. I look to my left, and there's a door to my left, and I see it, and the screen door is locked, but the door inside is open. And I'm looking at this to the door. I have no idea if it's her part of the house or not, and I'm just looking in, and I said, "Mom," and it's quiet, and I said, "Mom, it's me." I said, "Open the door," and I noticed that there was like old wooden floors, and all of a sudden we hear the sound of someone coming, like walking from the distance, like you can hear the steps coming closer, and this is like maybe 6 p.m., so it's still daylight out, and we hear the steps coming closer, and it stops, and I hear my mom. My mom says, hold on. I'm getting my shoes. Don't leave. Wait a second. I said, okay. So I turn my back to the door. And as we're waiting for her to come open the door after she's getting her shoes, I noticed the neighbor next door, he had this, like, it was just weird, like a sheet metal privacy fence. And the only time I ever saw like a person that had that kind of fence was like a mechanic or somebody who did work on cars. And so I'm looking at his fence, and where the sidewalk's at, I'm looking over the fence at the neighbor's yard. And I could see he had car parts everywhere, just thrown everywhere. And as I'm looking, like my eyes are following the fence, going towards the street to where the sidewalk's at. You know how there's those brown brown poles that run the wires. And I'm looking at the brown pole, and right when my eyes look at the brown pole, my mom comes walking from around the pole, like she just comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, what the hell, like, and real quick, like I was like, wait a second, because where that's at, it's away from her house, like it's the opposite way. And she comes, hey, what are you doing? I was calling you to your phone, but you weren't answering. And I'm like, what? And I pick up I get my cell phone. I don't have no missed calls. And I'm like, calling me. And I said, wait a second, come here. And so she comes up, and I said, how did you go from being in the house to coming from the opposite direction of the house, like from the street? She says, she points, she goes, you see about 2 houses down, there's that store right there? I go, yeah. She goes, I was using the phone there to call you, but you weren't answering. I said, look,
oh my gosh.
I was like, I don't got no missed calls. And she was like, mijo, or son, like, I promise you, I was calling you. And I'm like, and I go, wait a second, but we just heard you talking to us in the house. She goes, I've been at the store. And I'm like, come here. So we went to the front door, and you can hear like the ruckus, like someone's moving in there. I said, Mom, are you going to come or not? Like, what's going on? And out of nowhere, my mom's right to my left, and she's listening. And right then, my mom's voice comes from the house. She says, "I told you to wait. I'm getting my shoes." And my mom's right next to me. My mom's like, "I told you my house is haunted." I was like, "Holy smokes!" Like
I wouldn't want to go back in there that night.
it just got real. And I'm like, "Where's Freddie at?" Her boyfriend at the time. I'm like, "Where's he at?" He's in the back barbecuing. I'm like, "What?" And let me tell you something, man, guys. When someone is barbecuing, I don't care how far away you are, you're in that vicinity, you're gonna smell the smoke from them cooking. I don't care where you're at. There was not one sign of the scent of smell. We walk around the house to go to the back. As soon as we crossed that by the house to get to the back, it was just like boom, like a slap with barbecue smoke. I'm like, how the hell we're in the front of the house and we couldn't smell that barbecue? So fast forward, it's midnight already. We had ate our food. Everyone's already ready to relax. I said, look, we're gonna go check this place out. Stay in your room. I said, at any point you move from the bed, you do anything, just I want you to say out loud, I'm taking my shoes off or I'm moving, just so I can label it on the recorder. She says, okay. So her room is at the back of the house, and everything's happening is in the front or in the kitchen and the rest of the house. So we go in there, and the first thing I did before we started investigating was we went to clear the whole house. We wanted to make sure all the lights are on, see if there's anything that's going to harm us, broken glass, nails, just anything that can hurt us. And what was really weird was that each room, there was, I forgot how many, there was a lot of rooms in there, and my mom was only using one. What ended up happening was she told us that the owner said that nobody can last in the house, and that instead of just giving her part of the house for one payment, she can have the whole duplex to herself. And so I'm going through all the rooms, and what was really odd was it looked like they just finished putting the rooms together, like as far as like the drywall, what I mean, the sheetrock and all that. Like it was they nailed the window shut for some reason, and it fresh paint, or not fresh paint, but it was like white paint. Like there was no furniture in any of the rooms. It was completely empty, and I'm like, this is weird. And so everything was clear. We turned the lights off. We had a single camera. I didn't have no equipment then. I was just starting. Had one small camera, one recorder, flashlight, and I'm like, well, where do we start at? Out of all the rooms, each room had a white door, but one had red. I'm like, let's go in there. So we go into that room. We
Of
go in there,
course.
right? And we're sitting down on the ground, you can hear the cars passing by at night. You can hear people kind of talking, and then it just gets quiet out of nowhere. It just gets so quiet that I'm like, I had to make noise because I felt like I lost my hearing. It was weird, and no, it was just really quiet. And then all of a sudden, I'm thinking, man, what the hell? What was the thing that we heard earlier? Like, what was it? I'm trying to think of all these rational explanations, logical things, and
Maybe
trying to
it was
figure
a cat.
maybe it was this, maybe it was that, and all of a sudden I hear from the front door, I hear like steps coming towards us, and I'm like, man, my mom's boyfriend at the time, he was a real jokester. He would always play jokes, jump scares and stuff. I'm like he's messing with us. So as the footsteps are getting closer to the door, I tell the guy I'm with, standing there, I'm like, real quiet. I'm like, when he gets to the door, we're gonna rip it open. We're gonna scare him. He's like, okay. The steps are boom, boom. You hear it getting closer. It stops right on by the door. I rip the door open, and there's nobody there. And I look like this. I see the IR light, little light that shows that it's on the camera, and I look this way, and there's nobody. And I'm like, and I just close. I'm like, I said, all right. I said, the whole thing, right? My name is Mike. This is so and so. My mom called us here because whatever. I said, I heard somebody talk to us today who was mimicking my mom's voice. If you're here, can you talk to us? And whatever, whatever. And we're talking, and nothing's happening. It's like if it just was quiet as hell, right? Nothing was happening. And then the guy who was there with me, he goes, let me open the door and take pictures. I'm like, look, let's ask permission first. He goes, F this thing. I'm gonna just take pictures. And he opened the door, and and all of a sudden we hear like fast paced footsteps walking away from us. I'm not gonna lie, man. This is like my I was brand new into this. I got scared as hell. Told her, I go, what the F's wrong with you, man? Like, do you understand that if this thing wanted to harm us in some way, we cannot physically put our hands on it and stop it from hurting us? I go, man, you can't be doing that. And I said, look, I opened the door. I go, I'm sorry for what he did. We're just both very excited. We're new to this. I said, but can you please come back and join us and talk to us? I close the door, and all of a sudden you hear the footsteps coming back. But this time the steps were more louder, And as it's coming back, what was even more creepier was you can hear not like nails or anything, but you can hear something rough, like rubbing against the wall at this walking towards the door, and it just sounded like just this
Like maybe
rough
a
like
jacket or something, like a
something. It
zipper
was
on a
just like
jacket
really
or
rough, like
something.
rubbing against the wall, and my heart's like like this. I mean, my heart is beating like crazy. I thought I was gonna collapse right there, and I was like,
Yeah.
Jesus, what am I doing? And then at that moment, I was like, do I really want to be doing this? Like, do I really want to go to people's homes and I'm here to help them, but I'm gonna run out the door all scared, And I was like, but
And
then
they're gonna
reminding
be like, "What
myself,
happened?"
right? But then reminding myself what we went through as kids and how we wish we had help. And I said, no, I can't run, man. How am I supposed to understand this if I'm gonna run away from it? So it stops right in front of the door, and we started asking all these questions. We're doing our thing, and then finally it came to a point where there was no more, nothing was happening. So I said, okay, well, I want to thank you for your time. We're gonna go and leave. Can you please leave my mom and her boyfriend alone? They'll stay on their side of the house. You stay on your side, but just respect each other. I said, but we'll be back. We'll be back. And so we left. We went home, and I was like falling asleep at where I was at. I was, at home. I was falling asleep, and the guy who was there with me, he was reviewing the audio from the recorder. And he's like, wake up, man, wake up. I'm like, what? Listen to this, man. And so I forgot what question we had. I was like, is there something preventing you from talking to us? And all of a sudden, this male voice goes, like in this creepy whisper, it goes, it's evil. And then what was even more wild was that a minute apart from each other, 6 different times, you'll hear us talking and you'll hear evil. A minute will go by, evil. 6 times said evil. And I'm like, wow. Like it was just, it
Six
was so,
times? That's a
yeah,
lot.
it was so crazy to hear this thing keep saying evil a minute apart. And, and we got these really cool responses. But that was like one of those moments that just really stuck with me. I'll never forget that place. And even now that I have so much more equipment, I have a team, it's like I pass by there and sometimes I just want to go over there and be like, I'm sorry to bother you, but are you guys still experiencing paranormal stuff? But it's in a bad part of town. I don't want to get shot, so I don't ever go. I don't stop. But that one place that always sticks with me. I would love to go back if I had the opportunity to investigate again.
Wow, that's a really cool story about that place, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evil 6 times is pretty creepy.
Definitely. I did notice that we're over our time. Is there somebody?
No. No. I hope not.
Sorry about that. I'm a storyteller, man. I could talk forever. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
No, it was great. Yeah. Now, do you want to tell everybody where they can follow your stuff and find you at?
Yeah. Just go into Facebook, go to the search bar, and you could type at Paranormal MPS. That's how you can go directly to our page, or you can just type in Midnight Paranormal Society. You can also follow our, where we do our show, Whispers from the Unknown Network. And if you have TikTok, I do put videos there too. You can just put at MPS Founder Mike, and we have YouTube and stuff. Just that's how you can find us.
Awesome. Are you writing that in the comments?
Whispers
That what you're
from
doing?
the Unknown Network. I just posted it in there.
There you
Oh,
go.
cool. Awesome.
Yes, there's somebody
Bam.
after us. They started
Okay.
5 minutes ago, so it's a recording though, so it's not like a big deal. We're not like blocking somebody's time. But Ghost Box Radio is on at 9. So thank you for the stories and the Funko Pop demonstration.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And the info, you said that the Chase is like the special version of
Right.
Chase. Thank you for that. And
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
maybe we'll bump into you sometime at one of those conventions.
That'd be nice for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching.
Yes, guys. I guess we'll see everybody next week, same time.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.